Is it on?
Yeah, we on, nigga. Yeah, man, another day, another pod. Interesting times, dog.
Hey,
Interesting
bruh.
times. Interesting times.
Jesus.
So, basically, I just want to start with the welcome. Welcome, everyone, to the coolest pod, hip hop pod in SA, man. Thank you for the guys that are subscribing on our YouTube page, man. That's dope support. I also just want to let you guys know again that we are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or anywhere else that where you actually get your podcast from. Another thing that's I think I need to say is on the video, especially the main podcast video, you can actually choose which topics that you want to pick up. Below the video in the description, there's always going to be timestamps where you can actually just click on the topic that actually interests you. And yeah, man, enjoy it. But of course, would like you to watch the whole episode if you can. Yeah, otherwise, how's the weekend, dog?
Easy stuff, man.
Is it?
I didn't really have a weekend. I was working.
You're working?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sucks.
All right.
And yours?
All right.
How was yours?
No. It was chilled, eh? Had a braai with friends on Saturday. Went to see another good friend I haven't seen for a while. And yeah, he's still doing the same shit, man. He's still doing the same shit. Wow,
you expected something. You expected
that
guy's
like running a call center for chicks, bro.
What?
That guy. I was there with him for like, I think it was 4 hours on Friday evening.
Yeah.
Hey, man. The guy is just, he's still on the streets, man. Dude.
You're not changing.
Nah, the only thing that made him chill at home was that I was coming around, but also he wasn't really manning up. You know?
Oh.
So he couldn't go anywhere.
So he belongs to the streets.
That guy. No, he runs the streets.
He runs the streets.
Oh, that guy's dangerous.
Jesus, bro.
He runs the street. But it was good, man. I mean, if you haven't seen someone for a while, we had an awesome time just chilling, drinking, playing music, just catching up, man. Yeah. I actually enjoyed that. I think it's needed sometimes. Needed, just gents chilling, having drinks, nothing hectic. So yeah, man, that was my highlights of the weekend. Of course, we're listening to music. We're listening to Blxckie.
Hey, bruh.
I don't know. Let's get into it. What's your overall take after the hype of Friday, Saturday? What's your overall take of the whole album?
I think even with the hype, the whole hype,
it
was still underrated.
Oh,
that's how good the album I think it is. Because the first time I listened to it, I was expecting turn up.
Yeah.
And then the first track comes in, is Mama, it's bad. Yeah, it's Mama, it's bad, the first track.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay. Because everything I heard from Blxckie, it's turn up.
Yeah.
But then get into the project, the album, the first track, kind of emo. And I was like, okay, sharp. Listen to most of it. And melodies, obviously we expected melodies, a lot of singing. But also the lyrics.
Why did you expect a lot of singing?
Because of the whole, like every time I hear Blxckie come on, like on a feature or on a track, like you hear that whole yeah, right? And then after hearing that, you just kind of expect a singing rapper kind of thing.
But why? Why is that? Because I'll be honest. Yeah. Why I'm asking that, I was actually surprised that the guy can hold a note. That was a pleasant surprise from the album. I think there's 2 songs where it's just singing throughout. So I was surprised with that. I've always heard him rap and doing hooks, but that's different from actually singing the whole song. There's a sort of like a love R&B track on the back end of the album, which was okay, this is quite nice. And also, you can sing, but to be able to transfer that into emotion, takes a lot of skill. And That's what I'm saying. I was surprised with the singing, and hence I keep on pressing on you on why
Why
weren't you not surprised with the singing? Because it's the first time we've actually heard him go sing.
Okay, here's the thing. The first time I heard of Blxckie and the voice, actually the first time I heard the voice, and I was like, this is built for singing. This is not, built for rapping. In rap, you kind of expect a bravado kind of voice.
Okay.
A deep kind of voice. Like, let's take it back now to AKA KO. I mean, he was always being teased because of his voice. So left, right. You see, because that's not perceived as a rapping voice. So the first time I heard Blxckie, I was like, this nigga's supposed to be singing. So that's why I was like, I wasn't surprised when I heard melodies, when I heard singing from him. So I was like, I kind of expect this from this nigga.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, bruh, this album, Jesus, it's supposed to be everywhere. I think it's different.
All right.
Something we've never heard before. So it's supposed to be everywhere.
Out of the album and taking away the songs that we've heard before the album was released, the ones that have dropped as singles.
Yeah.
What song stood out for you in terms of the songs that were new to our ears?
Hold, Mama It's Bad, and the last track was it Tall.
Excuse me.
Tall. So those three
okay,
tracks,
give me one.
Mama It's Bad.
Mama It's Bad.
That was my
all right. And in terms of why that song stood out for you?
Because storytelling and it's emotional. And I didn't expect that from him. I didn't expect him to be vulnerable. So I was like, you know what? Okay, this is something different from everything I've heard from Blxckie. It's fire, man.
Oh, mama, it's bad by my side. This nigga
This is the one,
says
eh?
she know
Yeah.
he mad, got
Okay.
a slide.
Excuse me.
Don't even know what to go grab. Where's my knife? All I pray is that at the end I have my life. So lost, I don't know where to find me. And these problems, they keep on piling. I know God works in perfect timing. I just bow down and wait in line for my blessings. I don't mind, it's a lesson. So many sacrifices for my destiny. I know that they wildin', pray for my demise, but I'm so caught up in my own shit. I'm better alone. How I got so far, I don't know. I trust in the process. Oh, my heart stay open. Tell myself to see both sides of the lens. Tell myself that I won't die, I'm relentless. And the shit I seen on my eyes, Oh, mama, it's bad by my side. This nigga says some shit, now he mad, got it slide. Don't even know what to go grab, where's my knife? All I pray is that at the end I have my life. So lost, I don't know where to find me. And these problems, they keep on piling. Red roses and blue violets. Red roses and... But what am I supposed to do when niggas teach me? Man, I'm not supposed to lose, I learned my lesson. I feel like I be stuck in a loop. Why I be seeing the same things over and over, right? My heart cold, but it could be colder, right? I told her that we getting closer, I lied. I'm focused, I be taking my own advice. My blessings be falling right on me in time.
Okay. Tell me more. What made the song for you?
Like, I think the singing, like I said, I didn't expect, I expected the singing, and I just didn't expect it to be this good. Like you said, you were surprised he could hold a note. So I was like, this boy, man, this boy. Like, I got 808s and heartbreaks from this. And it's that close to 808s and heartbreaks. I mean, the quality of it. So it was, yeah.
All right. My one, which stood out for me was Siga, and the only reason why it stood out is actually because it was very different. It's a unique song if you look at the whole album, and you have to be very brave to actually go to another genre and actually make it work, right? Make it work. I know that he's been into the middle lane that we keep on talking about between the hip hop and the pianos with the other songs, Abomtasi and other songs that he has. But to go fully piano, that for me took it, and he actually held his own. He wasn't swallowed. He held his own. He didn't just do it for the sake of doing it because it's the popular thing to do.
Yeah.
He actually made a good song. So let's hear what he says, man. Oh.
I'm climbing these alleyways. Phone who enjoy ya. See ya, see ya, I'm climbing these alleyways. Phone who enjoy ya. See ya, I'll see ya, I wasn't gonna look for me. Isn't those armies yahlangana? Angiyabonga mama no baba. Ngaphandle kwenu bengeke ngibe lana. Awusengidala. Yakuphala. Izingabosha ngiyaphala.
So this song for me, I would like, if he does do a remix, I would like him to bring in Java. I think Java would kill it and would actually just take the song to another level. Not saying it's not a good song. I love it. I think for me, it's a song that is a standout track. But with Java on this shit, it will blow. It will blow.
I don't see Java here.
I see Java. I see Java.
My G.
And also the fact that he's got Big Time Slapper and Yeah times 4, which are more inclined to party hip hop bangers, and then you got Siga, which is more for the dance crowd, and he's holding his own. So he's got the guy. This album is so versatile. He's got the mood music. He's got introspective music. He's got bangers in terms of the hip hop. Now he's got the Siga song. And it's funny because when he spoke about it, he said he had about 420 songs to choose this 12 from. So it's not only songs, of course, it's songs and concepts. So he chose from 420 songs and concept to come down to these 12 songs. One thing's for sure, that means he's a hard worker.
Yeah.
He's putting in the work, man. He's putting in the work. And it shows. It shows the love that people are showing him. It shows the attention that is gardening, and everyone is taking note of what he's doing because of the hard work that he's putting in. So it's very refreshing sound, and the thought process, behind the album, I think they did a good job. I think they did an awesome job.
He's up next. He's definitely up next.
Yeah.
We had Foka, who ran shit for a bit.
Yeah,
I think Blake is next.
Yeah,
it's his time now.
Yeah, man. All the best to him, dog. I think this album again, the other thing that I noticed is that there are songs that you feel that they're good, but they haven't, you haven't warmed up to them.
Yeah.
And I think that's gonna make the album last longer. I remember when I first heard Big Time Schlepper, I was like, okay, it's a good song, but it grew on me. So I think the other songs that I'm not feeling as yet, or I haven't warmed up to as yet, will still grow on me. I think Huts, I think Gas, those two, I'm looking out for the next month or two that they're gonna take the streets by storm, you know.
So are you saying the album is a banger all overall?
Yeah.
Or is it a
Yeah. I don't think there's a miss.
Okay.
I'm just saying that in terms of me, I think there's some songs that I'm probably gonna need to warm up to as we go along with the album and listening more to the album. Hence, I use the example of Big Time Slapper, where the first time I heard it, I was like, okay, these guys can rap, but I wasn't really into it. But now I've warmed up to it. I think it's a fucking hit of a song, and the guys featuring Lucas Raps, of course, the guys just kill it. So I think that's what's going to happen with the other songs as well. Similar, I had a similar take with David. First time I heard it, I was like, it's a nice song, all right? Now I'm saying it's a big song. Even though I still hold my view that he didn't really move things forward in terms of genre pushing things forward, you know, but it's still a good song. That doesn't take away from the awesomeness of the song. So I think the other songs as well are going to do that.
I think it's a slow burner.
Yeah.
Like this whole album, you need to listen to it.
Yeah.
And get the feel of it, and you'll hear that, okay, Jesus, some gems in here. So it's very good.
Another sad thing that happened is that unfortunately we lost quite a prominent musician, you know, in our midst. And as you know, there's a lot of history between SA hip hop and SA kwaito and piano. Those, in some instances, those genres are interchangeable. So as much as we are predominantly talking about hip hop, we cannot live out the OGs. We cannot not talk about Trompies.
Never.
One of their members, named Mjokes, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but Mjokes passed on, and it's one of those things, man, that you know you're growing, but you don't realize that older people are also growing.
Ish, bro.
And it's sad because he didn't. In a way, it was because it was a car accident. It didn't live the full life, you know. A car accident is always sad because you always think that someone could have lived longer.
Exactly.
It wasn't health complications. It wasn't old age, you know. And these guys gave us moments, man. They gave us moments. They gave us memories.
These guys, bro, like the history behind what they've done. And the thing is, we don't realize the amount of impact these guys have had on our current music scene.
Yeah.
Like what's happening right now, some of it and most part of it, it was because these guys came around and gave us this kind of music. So without these guys, a lot of things I don't think would have been, we've been able to do them, like in terms music wise. The sound, the carving of the sound, and the style of rapping, the style of singing in SA, it's just man. Aish. And it was apparently he passed away from coming from a performance.
Yeah.
Aish, bro.
Yeah.
Aish.
Yeah. And you know, that's nice to know that they were still being shown love.
Exactly.
They were still getting bookings.
Yeah.
Because some of these guys, when they get to this age, you know, people forget about them, and that's why they die poor. When they've given us so much memories, Especially thinking about the fact that back in the day, there's contracts and how the business was done. A lot of these guys don't own their
Masters.
They are masters. They don't own their own music. So a lot of money is being made from the performance side of things. And if these guys were still being booked at this age, it's really, really, really heartwarming that people still show them love and people still made sure that they could, look after their families,
It's crazy.
I mean, this group, at some stage, we all thought we could be pantsulas.
Hey.
That's how impactful these guys were, man. They got us dancing, So I remember, I'm going to tell a story. I don't know how true it is because I heard it from a third party, right?
Yeah.
So basically they say Trompies, supposedly, one of the kids, Motsepe kids, had a birthday. I think I've told you the story before.
Yeah.
So had a birthday, and these guys were performing, and so they get there. Petrus Motsepe is a well-known guy, well-respected, and of course they also do their performance in a well-respectful manner. Just standing there by the mic and singing their tracks. So the kid, supposedly, Petrus Motsepe turns to the kid, is like, did you enjoy that performance? Because the kid who wanted Trompies to perform, and the kid's like, Dad, no, they didn't do this thing, whether the patsula thing,
the dance.
Yeah, so they had to do it again, man. I was like, oh shit.
Aye, bruh. So when they do it again, do they get double pay or is it?
I don't know the technicality, but I mean, it's so nice. What we're trying to illustrate is
the impact
of the dance, the impact of that performance. The songs weren't a song without the
showmanship.
And hence I say, even if you play Makhasman in a gig or wherever you are, people start pantula dancing. You just can't sit and listen to this music.
Exactly. And I think at some point in our lives coming up, we all bought khaki dickies suits.
Yeah.
The long sleeve shirt, the khaki pants, the dickies or the all stars, the sporty.
Yeah.
Come on,
man. They were culture influential.
Very.
So let's just pay some homage, man. Take it up a bit. Hey. Usemna nema khasman. Usemna nema khasman. Usemna nema khasman. Nema khasman. Usemna nema khasman.
Hey.
I go. Hey.
Charros.
Hey.
Wasn't this a diss song?
I'm not really sure.
It was a diss song.
I'm not really
to Alaska before they got together at Kalawa. Yeah. At some point, Alaska and Trompies were rivalries.
Yeah, man. So the lady there was actually Lebo. So
Matosa.
Oh, it was Matosa.
Was it Lebo Matosa?
Yeah, it was Lebo Matosa. So R.I.P. Lebo, man. That's another legend that has left us. R.I.P. Mjokes. R.I.P. Mendoza, R.I.P. Mshoza,
Yo,
all the legends, man. All the
legends,
legends, man. You guys gave us good memories, and we're still gonna bang your music, man. So yeah, man. Rest in peace, rest in power.
they created timeless classics, man.
Yeah, man.
They
yeah,
created
man.
timeless
Yeah,
classics.
man. From one death to another death, man. This AKA interview. R.I.P. Nellie Tembe. Let's start off there. Yeah, you watched it last night. I watched it on Saturday. Let's start off. Firstly, what were you first looking forward to? Let's keep it at that. Firstly, what were you when you watched the interview? What were you looking forward to seeing?
I was looking forward.
Or hear, I should say.
I was looking forward to seeing or hear AKA tell us what led to Nellie's death, and I didn't get that. Yeah. So yeah.
So the narrative that has been around that it was suicide, she jumped off. You still wanted to hear something around that when you were watching the interview.
And I didn't.
All right. Okay. What else? Is that all?
I think AKA didn't say much. He didn't say actually.
Before we get to the interview, I want to know what were you looking forward to?
I was looking
what
forward
did you want when you heard AKA was doing an interview?
Okay,
you said, "Boom! I want to know what happened that night." What else did you want to know?
an insight into the relationship.
Insight into the relationship.
Yeah.
Wow. Why would you want to know that?
Tell us the backstory of their relationship so I can understand what led to that particular morning or that particular evening that led to the morning. Yeah. So it's like I was looking for a movie script. Let me loosely put it that way. A build up, right? Give me context, give me an insight and build me up, and then tell me, okay, for throughout everything, this and this and this and this that happened, all of this boiled down to that day, and so happened that day, and then boom, Nelly left us.
I was yeah. I think most of us were looking forward to understand what happened on the night. I think just to further on your point, we all wanted to know because of all the media reporting and all the friends saying things, especially now that she's gone, about how the relationship was and how stressful the relationship was for her and how abusive, supposedly. So I wanted to find out that was AKA going to confirm those things or was he going to deny those things? And if he denied those things, did he have a reasonable explanation to why people keep on saying this was a very abusive and stressful and very hectic relationship? So for me, I also didn't get some of the stuff. So let's jump into it. First and foremost, the interview starts. By the way, the guy who did the interview, Tembe, one of the best, one of the best that we have, and one of the best up and coming journalists that we have. Man, I want to give him his props in terms of what he's done. He's I know him from ENCA as well as 5FM. He's part of the Nellie team. So
94.7.
94.7. Sorry, not 5FM, but it's part of Nellie's team on 94.7. So I want to give him his props because I know this is a difficult topic and a difficult conversation to have with AKA, especially that a lot of us have got our own ideas of where he fits into the story. So for him to be very professional, I really enjoyed some of the things that he did and some of the questions that he posed. Even though I think he missed some of the things that I wanted to find out, but we'll get into that. But overall, the professionalism, the sticking to the story type of thing, and giving AKA some sort of platform to actually answer the difficult questions, I actually enjoyed that. So I want to put that out first before we we get into it.
I kind of have a different view on it in terms of Tembe. I think there's like you said, the other questions that he was supposed to ask, but because at some point in the interview, I picked up that this guy might have he's emotionally connected to this, because if you watch him throughout the interview, you'd see there were times where he was swallowing his words. Like you could tell that he's
okay. You have to give an example, because if you're saying it felt like he was emotionally
when
that hold on, that is that's an indictment on professionalism, because you can't be emotionally involved in a subject that you're trying to properly get answers for. So I think it's only fair to say this is what happened that led me to think that he felt it's a little bit emotionally involved. Yeah.
Okay, when he asked Keenan about the physical altercations about it, he didn't go further into asking him, but you say no, but we have pictures of Nellie bruised. He didn't even get to the pictures of Nellie bruised. He just asked AKA, was there physical altercations in your relationship? And AKA just said no.
So in that instance, couldn't it be maybe he just forgot to ask the question?
You don't. There were points where he brought out the breaking of the door.
Yeah.
How can you bring up breaking down of the door and forget the pictures?
Okay, so I don't really want to stick on this point a lot, but what I'm trying to get from you, Merv, is if you say you feel he was emotionally involved, what the examples you're giving me now is maybe a sort of lack of follow-up questions, not really a lack of you feeling that you're part of the story. That's what's illustrating to me. So hence I'm asking you that if you feel like that, then again, this is a professional man. I've got high regard for him, and hence I'm saying I want to give him the benefit of doubt until you say something and say no. He was biased here. That's where, because that's what you basically going to. You're saying he was biased here, and I'm saying if he forgot to ask about the bruises, or he forgot, because I think there's a picture with the bruises.
The bruises.
If he forgot to ask about the bruises, giving him the benefit of the doubt, can't we say that maybe with a whole lot of information that was going on, the interview itself, it was a deep interview, because you also don't want to seem like a cold-blooded, interviewer, So can't we say that for that?
I guess we can.
Yeah, well,
because
because it's major to say someone like once you start flirting, once you start flirting with being biased, you have to have like something to say on this. There is no way. You understand? There is no way that this guy overlooked this. There is no way, or there's no way you can. Do you understand? It has to be like so clear cut. It has to be like so black and white. So hence I'm saying I'm not pressing you to say I disagree. I'm just saying give me what you saw and let's discuss it. Because me personally, I feel he missed some things, but it wasn't intentional. He wasn't biased intentionally if it meant he was biased.
I get you.
Yeah, well.
I get you. Oh man, it was okay. I didn't get much. Like I said, there was some.
So you fine now with his interview style?
Yeah,
okay,
I'm fine.
All right, okay.
Clear that up.
So let's start off the whole story about. We're gonna break it up into sections. So let's talk about the evening when he spoke about the evening. What did you feel, and what is the story that you found there that you feel was conveyed or not conveyed?
Like I said, the evening before, because remember everything happened in the morning, and he said the evening before they had a big fight. He decided to book himself in the different room.
He didn't book himself since different room.
He said he booked himself.
He said he decided that he was gonna remove himself.
Yeah.
So then he went to call security because Anele was acting out. But him booking himself to a different room didn't happen.
Oh, okay. Bruh. But look, and again, with the story, there are a lot of holes.
That's what I'm asking you about, nigga.
Like,
that's where we at. Tell me the holes that you see. That's where we at.
If you went and asked for help because this person is acting out, why didn't you come back with security? Because I can guarantee you, at a hotel, when you go ask for help.
But Merv, he didn't leave the room. He called. So what do you mean he should have come back with security?
He said he removed himself from the
room, not the apartment. So he didn't leave the apartment. So Anele was in the lounge or whatever. Okay. He went to the bathroom to make a call.
Okay.
So he didn't leave. So it's like me here.
We're fighting here.
We're fighting here. I can go to my bedroom or bathroom. Mm-hmm. I'm removing myself from here, but that doesn't mean that I've left to go to fetch security.
Call security. Jesus. Okay, so he said security didn't come.
Yes, he said security didn't come.
He said security didn't come. And then boom bap, Anele jumps.
He didn't see Anele jump.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like boom bap, Anele jumps. He went to go.
So
look
wait,
for her.
I don't want to recall the story.
Yeah,
we're here to give commentary. What did you feel the holes were?
I feel this nigga was there when Anele jumped. He saw her jump, but he doesn't want to say.
Okay, why you feel that?
Because he kept on saying, I went to the balcony and I was saying, oh my God. Why is it that the first place you look at is the balcony down the
but Merv, he did say he went into the room, checked around the room. He didn't see Anele. Yeah? She was nowhere to be found. Then he went to the balcony after checking the room.
Why couldn't you just go out?
Go out where?
He said their friends was next door. Maybe she had went to her friend, to AKA's friend. Why was the balcony the first place you went to?
It wasn't the first place. He went.
Yeah,
to the room
after the room. He checked in the room. Like after checking the room. Why couldn't you maybe go to the bathroom?
He was in the bathroom.
Okay, maybe the bedroom. And then after the bedroom, maybe this person had left the room. Maybe she went downstairs, or maybe she went to our friend next door. Why was the balcony the first place after checking for her in the wherever they were? Why was it the first place he checked?
Okay.
So my thing was, I think this nigga was there when he saw her jump. Like it was that thing of, because this was not the first time she had threatened to do this. When she went there, AK was like, you're playing, you won't do that. Up until he saw her get off the balcony rails.
Yeah, but then why would he lie about that? Because he's not involved in her jumping in this instance. So if I'm here and somebody says they're gonna kill themselves, they go to the balcony, they jump, I can actually tell the cops that's what happened. Why would he misrepresent that part? Well, if you feel that that's the way he was there when she jumped, why would he misrepresent that part? Because I feel you're innocent. You didn't push her. You didn't do anything to her. She did it on her own. So you can actually say, she walked past me, jumped, boom.
Because the question of why didn't you stop her would arise.
Yeah, but that doesn't make you guilty.
Yeah, it doesn't make you guilty, but in the court of what do you call public perception, or the public court, why didn't you? What someone is crying, someone is telling you they're going to kill themselves. Why didn't you step in and try to stop her? You see her go. You see her walk into the balcony. Why didn't you stop her physically?
I think he tried later on in the interview where he said she has threatened many times and she has never gone through with it. So could it be the fact that he also thought that she wouldn't go through with it?
Yeah, that's what I also thought that, like, okay, he saw her and he was like, she won't do that. This is not the first time. This is not the first scene. We've seen this before.
So you saying now we're getting to a point, you saying that aspect is not a gap. It's possible that he was there, but because she's threatened before, he was like, cool, do it, whatever.
Yeah.
So what I'm asking now is, behind that story is, why would he lie about that?
Because if he had told the truth that he was there, he saw her jump, then the question would arise: why didn't you stop her? And
but
he wouldn't.
wait, but he's just explained that.
Yeah,
he's explained that even though, he's saying that he wasn't there. So I'm saying he's already got a reason to not. Hold on, don't cut me in my mouth. He's already got a reason. So why would he lie about something that, I mean, in my mind, it's reasonable to say if somebody keeps on, every time we have a fight, somebody keeps on saying they're gonna jump, and they never ever jump. So it goes to reason to say, I can also say, okay, whatever, man. She's just going through her own things like as usual. So do it. I don't care. And I don't think if I'm getting asked why didn't I stop it and I give that reason, I'll be guilty of anything. Hence, I'm saying I don't think it's a big enough reason to misconstrue that situation and say it didn't happen as as you think happened. There's no loss to him because he's already got a reason, even though he says he wasn't there. But for me, as a thinking person, it makes perfect sense. What, you want to jump? Because I know you don't do it.
Exactly.
So why would he want to change that scenario? If even with public court, everyone who's reasonable, if you keep on saying you want to do something, you don't do it. We don't know when you want to actually do it. So it's reasonable to say, oh, well, she's just acting up, man. Fuck it. Go to my computer. Jump if you want to jump. Because I know you won't do it. So why would he, and I keep on emphasizing this, he's already got a reason which is reasonable to everybody. Everybody can understand that part. Why would he then change such a monumental thing to say he was not there?
Because he wants to be as far as possible from her jumping. He wants to remove himself. He wants to remove himself from the scene.
Okay, why though?
Like I said, he doesn't want, even though he has the reason, he doesn't want to be guilty in the public court. He wants to remove himself from there.
What else was holes for you?
The drug use.
No. Before we get to the drug use, we're talking about
the jumping.
That evening. So you're saying the drug use during that evening?
Yeah, during the evening.
Or you think there was drugs?
I think there was alcohol and drugs during that evening. Because if we go back to the story, he said they had a long fight, right? And I think we discussed this, was it yesterday? Yeah, where he said you can't have a fight for that long unless you are on something, maybe alcohol or drugs. And he said, no, there were no drugs involved, meaning they were sober.
Okay.
So I think he also lied about that.
Okay.
Yeah. Hence, even Tembe asked him, have you ever indulged in drugs? And he said, I'm in this business, there are temptations. And yes, I have indulged in drugs before. I think Tembe was trying to get it out of him that way.
Okay. So for me, honestly, I think what happened that evening is that these guys had a fight. most probably got physical, and a mistake happened. A mistake happened. I don't think that whatever happened was on purpose. I don't think if he was involved, it was on purpose that it will end like this. I think a mistake happened, whether she tripped, whether he pushed her. But I think, and I say that because he says he called security to come and assist. But when he realized that she had jumped over, he goes to his friends, right? So the question is, one, instead of calling security, why didn't you call your friends? Why was your first point of call security? Okay, cool. You've got your own reasons. Now a tragic thing has happened. Instead of calling security again, since your first point of call is security, why do you now go to your friends? Unless you feel that you needed to talk to your friends so that they can clean up. So you might have told your friends the truth and say, guys, it was a mistake. This happened and this happened, and now she's dead. And your friends were like, okay, let's go and check. Because I don't understand. You go to your friends, you see her downstairs, you go to your friends. Why don't you go downstairs? Why don't you go downstairs at reception? Guys, my wife has just jumped, boom, boom. What are your friends going to do? You get my point?
I get your point.
Why didn't you go downstairs immediately as soon as you laid your eyes on your wife lying on the stoop on the sidewalk? You yourself are meant to go there and check. He says his friends went down, they checked, and they said she was still breathing, but still he didn't go down. Like, why didn't you go down? That's a major question for me. Why didn't you go down?
Can I add on that? When they told him she was still alive, he disputed it.
Yeah. He said he thought they were pulling lying to him.
Why? Why would they do that?
I don't know, man.
Exactly.
I don't know. But the mere fact that he didn't go downstairs, I feel somewhere along the line that means he wanted his friends to clean up. He didn't want to go downstairs because he was part of the reason why she ended up there. Right? So that's the first one. The second one, in terms of the evening, he first says she walked past him and she said she's gonna kill herself but not jump. Later on in the interview, he says she walked past him and said she's gonna kill herself and jump. So it can be one of two things. Did she say she's gonna jump or did she say she's not gonna jump? Because that matters in terms of how you react to the threat. I'm going to kill myself. You're in the bedroom. Oh, well, there's no knife. There's no gun. But I'm going to kill myself and I'm going to the park and I'm saying I'm going to jump. That's a different matter because now the cause of death is right where she's going. You get my point? She's telling you what she's going to do. And you choose to go and make a phone call. You say your wife was suicidal. You say your wife was on medication. You say she's tried to attempt to kill herself many times. And she goes past you and tells you she's going to jump.
And you don't take it seriously.
And you don't take it seriously. You actually leave her. You go to make a phone call somewhere else. That's crazy. All right. Another thing that I didn't get. Personally, I'm not going to say the guy does drugs because I've never seen him does drugs. But there's many alleged media reports alluding to that. And I'm not sure if it was, because he didn't really say he did drugs. He said he's experimented or tried. He didn't say I used drugs. He said I experimented or tried to use drugs. Understand? I don't understand why would you want to distance yourself from something where a lot of people can be asked and verify something like that.
And to add on that, Tembe said I think Tembe asked him about how is he dealing with this, and he was like, I'm going to therapy, I'm praying more, and my therapist suggested that I take antidepressants, but I can't take antidepressants. Why wouldn't anyone who doesn't have a drug problem be advised not to take antidepressants?
Well, when you say drug problem, do you need antidepressants to come off drugs?
No. Like, remember, antidepressants are pills. Maybe if he's advised not to take antidepressants, they're afraid he might relapse. Because he said he can't take antidepressants.
Okay, so what? I'm trying to follow you. What are you saying with that?
I'm adding to your alleged drug, reports in the media, and when
not in the, I won't say in the media because now I'm gonna ask quote the
relevant.
I'm just saying that
source.
There's a lot of people that have said. I mean, we can just quote. Casper has said it many times. He actually even calls them mad drugs. It's many incidents where a lot of people said, you know what, this guy is actually drugging himself and is drugging his career away. So it's something that a lot of people have mentioned. And as I'm saying, I don't really understand why he would deny something like that where there's people that can collaborate that thing.
Yeah. So, okay. Back to what I was saying was, right now, let me say I'm depressed or I'm going through something that needs me to take antidepressants. Right?
Okay.
Doctors and psychiatrists would actually advise that I take that to calm me down.
Okay.
Right. But AKA says in the interview, he was advised, his psychiatrist told him to take antidepressants, but he was advised not to take them. He also doesn't want to take them.
So who advised him? What did he say?
He didn't say who advised him. He just said,
what I remember with that story, he said his psychiatrist is saying due to his mental state, he's going down that route of actually going to be taking antidepressants and all of that.
Yeah.
So, but he says he's trying to hold off on taking them. I didn't hear him say he was advised.
Why is he holding on to not to take them?
Because
he's depressed about this, right?
Yeah. I want to know. So what are you linking it to? What are you saying about that?
I'm linking it to the whole madragi thing. That if, or maybe he knows that if he takes antidepressants, he might, go into the drug route. He might take drugs.
So are you saying that if he takes antidepressants, he might find himself abusing the antidepressants,
exactly,
or are you saying
abusing the antidepressants?
Abusing that? Oh,
exactly,
okay.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. Another thing which didn't make sense to me is when he said he didn't remember why he broke the door down.
That was funny.
That to me just doesn't make sense.
It is
something so huge and monumental. You don't remember why you broke the door down? Or are you like breaking doors down every day? There's so many, you're breaking so many doors down, you don't remember why this particular door. It doesn't make sense. Unless you're trying to, because I remember when the interview started, he was saying a lot of things are blurry, and which was a setup to not being accountable for some of the things that he did or supposedly did, or the actions he took on the nights. Because if you're saying my account of the events are blurry, it becomes very hard to pin you down to a particular story, because you're going to be like, maybe I'm remembering it wrong, or maybe. So that plus the part where you say you can't remember why you broke the door down, unless you're saying if you remember clearly why you broke down, because now you're going to have a reason why you broke the door down. Excuse me. And you don't really want people to hear the reason why you broke the door down. Because if you're saying you remember clearly why it happened, then the next question is, why did you break the door down?
Yeah.
You understand? If we ask, why did you go to the bathroom instead of calling your friends? Because your friends could have been better place to calm her down because Bayamazi and you know and all of that. Why would you call security instead of your friends? But if you start off with my mind is fuzzy, it then allows you to put forward things that other people want to question, but they can't question now because you've already stated your mind is fuzzy.
Exactly.
You know? So for me, I think there was a hide and seek with a whole lot of story. Like, the story about what happened, the story about the drugs, there was no need for you to twist. The story about violence, when he was asked, have you ever been violent? And then he says, define violence.
Define violence.
What the fucker is that?
Like, does he want Tembegile to give him a textbook explanation? No, everyone knows what violence is.
No. You see, that's the thing. He thinks he can outsmart the situation. By him asking what's violence, and Tembegile gives his definition of violence, that means he's only answering to Tembegile's definition of violence.
Exactly.
He doesn't want to answer the violence issue. He wants to answer the definition of Tembegile's violence. Mm-hmm. There's emotional violence, there's physical violence, there's mental violence, there's financial violence, there's a shitload of violence that you can quote. He knows what violence means, but he doesn't want to put his flag down and say, I was violent. So I want Tembegile to say, violence means hitting someone. Then I say, I didn't hit him.
Exactly.
Do you get my point? But you could have been emotionally violent, you could have been mentally violent, you could have been any other violence. But now since you say what is violence, and Tembegile can only think of on the spot, think of physical. So you might have not physically abused her, but you could have abused her other way. So you don't want to answer and like, it's so easy, dog. Just answer the question. And that ducking and diving also led me to say, this guy is trying to find a way, find the, what do they call it? Find that small part, that small hole where he can escape, right? The small part where he can escape. So, look, for me, I really think that the guy's in trouble. I really think that half the interview he spent trying to shift, trying to make himself as a victim, because now the cops are getting involved. Basically, in his mind, is also involved in this shit, and it's a conspiracy between the police and the Tembe to hang him for this. I really think, and then the other time he says, why is he not getting feedback and the Tembe family is getting feedback? How do you know the Tembe family is getting feedback? Because it's clear you all are not communicating. Mm-hmm. Unless you throwing aspirations to say, I'm the victim here, I'm being prosecuted, or I'm being looked at as the guilty party, but no one is being honest with me. You know? So
I think he, like you said, he's in trouble. He knows he's in trouble, and he's panicking. Like he said, he got questioned 3 times. Right? Someone who's innocent and someone whose story is straight doesn't get questioned more than two times. Right? So there's holes in his stories, and he's also scared that they're starting to ask people around him. Like he said, they asked DJ Zindle, they interviewed DJ Zindle. So he's panicking and he's trying to play the victim part.
Yeah. Right. And maybe in summary, let's go into this one. In summary of the story, why do you think he actually did this interview? I remember when I think 2 pods back, we were talking about that his management is fucking around because they are allowing this man to carry on as if life hasn't changed. He performed at the final, the Nedbank final, and then they've had to drop like 3 statements, in a space of a week because they're not on top of things. So I'll be honest, this interview came as a surprise to me. But the question is, why do you think at this time they chose to do the interview? Before you get to tell me if it was a good or bad idea, let's start with, why do you think they did the interview?
I think he thinks the Tembe family is trying to pin this on him, and he's trying to play the innocent, loving fiance, and which him and his team thinks is gonna play in his advantage if it goes to court, right? I think that's where they're going with this whole thing, because when he gets to court, he can just be like, Your Honor, refer to the interview I did with this and this and this. I answered this question so and so and so, right? He's trying to go that route because he thinks, or he knows, that they're after him and they want to pin this on him.
I get that, but I feel more that it's more of a financial thing. Yeah, I think the guy sees, because remember Cruz moved away from him. I was watching football again. I didn't see his ad yesterday, so I think Cruz, one of the main people that are working with him, are putting pressure. I think it's a money thing. I think he's getting squeezed. He can't perform because of this cloud. He tried to perform and there was a backlash. So I think he just wants to get back to normality as soon as possible. And the normality is, of course, the monetary, because he's losing a lot of money. Remember, we're coming from a pandemic where everything was locked down. So as soon as when things try and open up, he gets into this issue, So there's been a long time that he hasn't been making a lot of money or gigging the way he could have been. And now there's this issue. So even if the country is opening up, he can't do much because of the cloud. So I think for me, it's a monetary thing. I think that's why he did it. There's nothing else. I see him trying to sort of like make a narrative, but the narrative is for him to be able to go outside and actually perform and actually make money. Yeah. All right. It's not a narrative to clear his name per se. It's just, guys, I'm innocent. Let me come to your gigs. Let me do some features. Let me carry on with my life. Cruz, don't drop me. I'm innocent. For me, that's what I feel. That's why they did it. But in finality, do you think it was a good idea?
No, he should have just kept quiet.
Okay.
Yeah, let it play out. If it goes to court, whatever he was saying in the interview can be said in court.
Yeah.
Because right now he thought it was going. I think it will play bad for him in court if it goes to court. They can, because the court can always go refer to the video.
Yeah.
Right. So he should have just kept quiet. Yeah.
But you see, the other thing with these interviews is that people always say, if you're innocent and your story is tight, it doesn't matter where you tell the truth. It doesn't matter if you're telling it to the news guys. It doesn't matter if you're writing a thread on Twitter.
Yeah.
If your story is true and it's tight, you got nothing to worry about because it's gonna be consistent. For me, I also agree with you. You shouldn't have done it. And based on what I've just said now, the story is not consistent. And that's why you shouldn't have done it. Because if it was consistent, then it's got nothing to worry about. But we don't even know the 3 statements that is given to the cops. But just on this interview, we're already picking it apart. Why did you do this? Why didn't you do this? Why did you say this and then later on say this? Why this? Why that? So you start to get to the point where you say it's only a benefit if your story is constant.
Exactly.
But his story is not constant. And hence I'm saying he shouldn't have done it. And it's going to come back and bite him in the ass. It's going to come back and bite him in the ass. I know, going back to why they did it, I know there's some desperation. But for me personally, they should have carried on with their statements. Because if he feels, don't do the interview, do the statements. You know, like how Jacob Zuma writes statements when he wants to communicate his shit. 27 pages. Do the fucking statement. Because he started off by saying he wants to answer questions. There's people that have been asking. He wants to come forward and answer questions. So I think he knows the questions that were meant to be asked or that people wanted to be asked. He could have written that down. But him going up there, being asked, because another thing, they were going back and forth in terms of timelines. And I think that's why some of the things became, he lost his footing because it wasn't a straight line, the questioning. You know, okay, you all boarded a flight from Joburg, you went to Cape Town, you booked in. It wasn't like that. It was, let's go here, let's talk about the drug. Oh, let's go back to the evening. Oh, let's talk about this. Oh, let's go there, you know. So I think he shouldn't have done it. I think another reason, which maybe I actually forgot, I think he wanted to paint himself as a victim, and hence this cops situation and how the investigation is going. He was very clear what he thought about it, and it was very clear that he felt he was being ill-treated. And I think he thought that was his trump card in terms of getting public sympathy. I don't think it worked. I don't think it worked at all. So, but yeah, man, it was really, really sad, and it's sad for the Tembe family. I think at the end of the program, there were like 3 quotes where the Tembe family actually disputed some of the things that he said during the interview, which I also think is nice from the producers because they were given right of reply on some of the things that he was talking about. So that was professional shit, you know. But I think the man is under pressure financially. I think the man is under pressure professionally and career-wise. I'm not really sure if he'll ever get out of this mess. Whether he's proven innocent or guilty, I think there's a lot of people that have got legitimate questions on his story, on his version. Not even putting up another version, but on his version, that why did you do this on your version? We're not saying you're lying, okay? You are telling the truth, but on your version, this does not make sense.
Exactly.
And that's why I'm saying he's gonna be in a similar situation as Kelly Kumalo, where people just don't want to believe you because your version is so outlandish and ridiculous that people are just saying, you're making us dumb. We don't want to believe you.
Yeah.
You know, so,
right,
so I think he'll never get out of this one.
Nah, bro.
No matter what he does.
Because throughout the interview, I kept on telling myself, this is a PR stunt. Because there were questions where Tembekile would ask, and AKA would be like, no, we'll get to that. You can tell this guy, he rehearsed this. You know, he had possible questions written down, and he knew how to ask them. He knew how to answer them.
I think he was given the questions beforehand.
Yeah.
Because if you touch on that, there was a part where how they moved to the issue about Blxckie being at the funeral and actually speaking at the funeral and him not being able to speak at the funeral, that was introduced by what's the guy's name? Tembekile. It wasn't introduced by AKA. So now the question then is, how did Tembekile know that was an issue? Because that was not in the media.
Exactly.
His unhappiness of how the investigation is going and his unhappiness about how the funeral arrangements were handled was not in the media. So there was prep beforehand. That's the impression I got from that sort of small thing. There was prep beforehand, and it can go to reason that there were prepared questions that they told him, this is what we're going to ask you, or these are the areas, even if maybe it's not the same, the questions exactly, these are the areas we're going to ask you about, so prepare yourself around these areas. And I think, like you say, there's a few things that Tembekile missed. One of the things, you know, like you say, the the picture about the bruises. He didn't ask about the bruises. Some follow-up questions and some instances where he just let the one answer stay. You know, there was a part where he asked about drugs and alcohol. That were you guys doing drugs and what? You know, and AKA says no. I can't remember him going back to the evening and saying, on this evening, particular evening, did you guys do alcohol and drugs? I don't also remember him asking, because AKA spoke about being examined by the cops. I don't know if he asked him, were blood samples taken? You know, so those questions are some of the questions that I think they slipped through. But again, going back to how we started the conversation, I don't think it was biasness. I just think it's a heavy, weighty interview. As much as the guy is talented, we all miss a few things. Overall, it was a good interview. It was a professional interview. But yeah, my final thoughts is shouldn't have happened, shouldn't have done it. They should have carried on with the statements, and I feel the guy is being squeezed. I feel he's under pressure. He's under pressure. The heat is on.
What do you think AK's? What's your view on AK and Nellie's relationship? Like, how do you think? Like, how was it?
I feel. I mean, we went through this the previous part. I feel she was troubled. I feel with her being troubled and AKA living the rockstar lifestyle, as I quoted on the previous pod, it was a recipe and a cocktail for bad. You know, it basically, it's one of those people that at no point should be together. There are lifestyles, there are challenges of life, there are fears are just too big to be handled with kid gloves. They will cause an eruption. Those two things, they will cause an eruption. Look, they were, when she died, they had only been dating for like a year and 6 months or so. So we are talking about all this upheaval, all of this breaking of doors, all of this calling of cops, all of those things of her trying to commit, because he even said she's tried to commit suicide like 6 times. She wanted to jump out of the car. All of those things are in the space of a year.
Hey, bro.
You know, so how volatile was, and hence I'm saying, I think they shouldn't have gotten together. I think, you know, in some instances I get, you know, people's personalities where, like a moth knows that flying to the light at some stage is going to kill it. But it keeps on going there because it feels good, it feels warm. But at the end of the day, it knows it's going to die.
It's gonna die.
You know, maybe it's one of those situations where the up and down of the emotions was too irresistible for them to resist. I'm not sure why they got engaged. I think 22 is still young, very young. I think she still needed to grow as a person. I think she still needed to face her demons if she was suicidal and everything again, to be able to manage that situation of her life. And and in some way, how do we know if her being engaged actually even put pressure to her that she felt she was in a corner and couldn't escape, you know? And I think for a person, if it's true that she had so much mental issues, she really shouldn't have gotten to such a big commitment, which has pressurized. Now there's families involved. Now there's lobola. Now there's a big wedding being planned. You know, it can feel very claustrophobic, and you feel like you're in a corner, and you feel like you don't have control of your life, and everything is just happening to you, not that you are taking part in it, you know. And maybe those pressures also led to her feeling depressed, feeling under pressure, you know, and all of this stuff. So I don't feel they shouldn't have been together. just because of what we've heard and how they are. Yeah.
I just think she was too young for him.
Yeah.
And they were one in the same people. And, you know, like I keep saying, misery loves company. They were one in the same, and like you said, it was just the recipe for disaster. You know, the challenges, she was like 22, AKA is in his 30s. You know, they deal with challenges differently. They're from two different generations. So it was just, it was meant to,
Anyway, I guess it's going to be R.I.P. Nellie Tembe. And look, again, let's just hope that this thing is fast and quick, and everybody can get finality of the whole situation, man. I can imagine how the family is feeling. I can imagine how her friends are feeling. I can imagine how AKA's family is feeling, or even AKA. You know, there's a lot of uncertainty about the future, you know. So hopefully it gets to a point where everybody can move on, and then some finality with the issue. In either way, I'm not choosing any side. I don't give a damn about any side. But if everybody just gets the truth and people can move forward. Yeah. Anyway, just to close off the show, man, there's a big mess with the promotion to the PSL. Oh, I don't know, is Kakane is promoted or Royal Air is Kokune. It's a mess, man. There's photos of both of them celebrating.
Yeah, I saw them. my cousin sent me a screenshot of that.
This is crazy.
I think Royal AM is gonna get promoted.
You think so?
Yeah, that whole thing with Skukune. I think, like you said, there are big dogs playing there. You know, there's some people getting squeezed now because it's getting media attention.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of questionable decisions that were made. And I think that whole 3 points, 3 goal thing, it will be revoked, and Andil is going to the Premier League.
But, it's going to be hard. I get when you say it's going to be revoked, most probably. But if they go that route, then do you understand that going forward, you are actually taking away the teeth of the disciplinary, because it's a disciplinary that made that decision. So if they make a decision, and because now that decision has got so much weight on it, instead of, don't look at the weight, look at the merits of what the complaint was and what the issues was. But now if you're going to make exception to, this is a table decider or promotion decider, going forward, are you also going to add weight to all of those things going forward? Because those are not meant to be considerations. The considerations are meant to be the merits of what happened. You know?
They're going to be forced. They're going to be forced to microscope everything.
Yeah, boy.
In the future.
Yeah, boy. So I'm not sure. And also, then the DC, a lot of people will be like, this is a dog with no teeth.
Exactly.
You know?
So, bruh, like, I looked at it and I was like, there was a lot of money being thrown around here.
Yeah.
Because even with the whole ceremony of promotion, it was suspended. So that comes with financial impact, obviously, and the promotion money, it's been put on hold now because they don't know where it's going.
I don't think that's a major thing because it's not like it's being stolen. My major problem is this mess shouldn't have happened. Firstly. Secondly, it should have been rectified earlier on in the season because I think it's this decision was 5 months in the making. So why are you taking so long? Because now, if they had resolved it within the first month, people would have seen where the chips are landing. now everything is on the line. You know, they shot themselves in the foot as well. So anyway, we'll see, man. We'll see. Leicester didn't make it to the Champions League places. That was sad, man.
Bruh.
That was sad.
I was sad on their behalf.
Eh?
I was sad on their behalf.
Yeah, man, that was sad. And I was watching it. They were playing Spurs, and they were like ahead twice.
Yeah.
And they ended up losing 4-2. I'm like, come on, guys. And even last season, they lost on the final day. You know, so, and the whole season, they've been in the top 4. Just the last day.
Just
Boom. Oh, that's sad, man. That's sad. What's another thing? Sergio Aguero is leaving.
Sergio Kun Aguero, man.
He's going to Barcelona.
Apparently, there's a statue commissioned.
Oh, is it? For Etihad?
Etihad, yeah.
Oh, man, he deserves it. He deserves it. The guy has been a machine for the team. He's been in a machine. And it's the last of the few players that were first brought in.
Yeah.
He's the last of the guys that won that league first league. So he's really come through for it, man.
And he was the guy who gave us the winning goal.
Yeah.
To the first league, you know. But yeah, when they said the Sheikh commissioned the statue of him, I felt some type of way, because I felt, you know, when I read that, I thought, where's Yaya Toure's statue? Because
no, but Aguero is the top scoring player. Aguero was there when they won the league the first time. You know, Aguero. Remember again how Yaya Toure left was also not a good thing. But I'm saying maybe it will come after a while. But it's gonna be hard to compare the two.
Yeah.
Aguero is the top scorer ever. You know, that sign where he scored in extra time and
took off his.
That
was the
image is forever
stamped.
Yeah, man. So it's really hard to compare the two. You know. So yeah, but maybe Yaya's tour is coming.
Yeah.
What else happened?
I saw something on my way here.
Yeah.
A sign say, "Win Lotto today, pay tomorrow," and it's been in my mind. Yeah, a sign that says, "Win Lotto today, pay tomorrow." Contact.
So
buy
on credit. You buy the tickets on credit.
No. You go to a sangoma. They do the things. You go bet the lotto, you win. You come back, pay the sangoma. Yo, it's like it's in my mind. I can't get away from it, and I don't know why. Like, I found it funny, and I was like, will there be a person that takes this serious?
Yeah.
Do you think so?
I don't know. I don't know, man. To me, it doesn't make sense. To me, it doesn't make sense, man. You can't get free things, bro. You have to put in the work.
I didn't understand, man.
Yeah. I think that's gonna be it, man. I think that's gonna be it for today. Anything else in terms of music and hip hop?
No, not now.
Not now.
Yeah, we will talk about Matlera
on Friday.
Yeah,
most definitely.
Matlera on Friday.
Yeah, most definitely. All right, cool, man. That's our show. Please don't forget to like,
subscribe, hit the bell
What's
button.
The other thing that is? Oh, the bell button. Yeah, man. Hit the bell button, subscribe, and do all that funky shit, man. If you can't watch us on YouTube, you can always check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts,
Google
Podcasts, and anywhere else you get your podcast from. So that's about it, man.
Yeah. Signing out.
Have a good week, everyone.
Yeah.
Cheers.